Guys, what's up? So today I'm going to talk about an SCP called SCP-682 and he is basically overrated. And I've heard a lot of people on Quora and other websites saying that, well, SCP-682 can adapt to anything. But nah, actually. So you see, like, I seen a lot of people thinking that SCP-682 can adapt to anything, even though he couldn't adapt to even like Cosmic Armor Superman, or is at least at the level of SCP-312, and SCP-312 himself, who can kill the Scarlet King, and even SCP-682 himself in his true form, basically. And even on Quora, I saw even a question called SCP-682 versus Azathoth, who would win, and I was like, what? Azathoth would win? He would just wake up and all of existence is erased. And I saw a lot of people answering that it would create a paradox, and SCP-682 would, survive his erasure since he has survived existence erasure before. And I was like, bruh, this is an erasure on a higher scale, right? So it's like, I need to address this type of problem within the SCP fandom, I guess. Unless, like, an SCP-682's adaptation can, be set into some sort of, limitation to his adaptation, like hyperversal adaptation or autoversal adaptation. Like, if he's only at the level of hyperversal adaptation, then I would agree with it. Only autoversal characters or any high hyperversal characters can just beat him. But I've seen a lot of people saying that SCP-682 can be this and that due to him can adapt to anything. So I decided to take a look at SCP-682, and SCP-682 has a very vague description. Like, you can basically adapt to anything, which is a no limits fallacy. And I don't even know why the SCP moderators and admins let this exist in the first place. Like SCP-32, for instance, who can transcend everything no matter what logic it is to it, which is also a no limits fallacy. Like, seriously. I don't know why the SCP fans create beings like this and that. It would be unfair for a lot of people from other fandoms and other fictional universes. Like, I don't know why they allow such SCPs to exist in the SCP universe. I don't know if the admins or moderators can allow these SCPs to exist within the SCP universe, unless they have a set limitation. Like, SCP-682's limitation is limitation of adaptation is high hyperversal. So yeah. When I realized that, I was like, oh great, now he can be killed by other versal beings. And then I saw a lot of people saying that the Scarlet King is high autoversal since he destroyed Platonic concepts. No, Platonic concepts are autoversal, since the Tree of Knowledge contains infinite multiverses. And that's all, I think. And Platonic concepts are autoversal, so any odds that is autoversal in DC Comics, like gods living within the God Sphere, Mr. Michius Relic, who's a 5D imp. And remember, 5D in DC is different from five spatial dimensions within other genre, for that matter. 5D within DC is basically imagination and lives above the Marvel multiverse, which contains the Monitor realm, and the Monitor realm views Limbo as fiction, and Limbo views the Marvel multiverse as fiction, and also the sphere of the gods is basically a sphere in which all other versal gods live, a archetypal world that contains Platonic ideas within it, and they stand infinitely above the Bleed, which contains infinite dimensions. And I've heard a lot of people saying that the Scarlet King is high autoversal since he can, destroy Platonic concepts. Well, no, he can't destroy Platonic concepts. He can only destroy the Tree of Knowledge, which contains infinite multiverses. And the new gods would easily be at the high Elder Gods level within the SCP universe. So yeah, that's my opinion about the SCP universe. I do sorry if I trigger a lot of people. This is just my opinion. You can just choose your own opinion, since you could choose your own opinion in the comments or something. I already know that the SCP universe is kind of overrated because of SCP-3012's Transcendent Infinite Transcendence and SCP-682's Infinite Adaptation, which both is a no limits fallacy. Like a lot of people misinterpret it, and that's the problem within like the SCP fandom of sorts. So this is just my opinion about the SCP universe, sort of. So if you have your own opinion about the SCP universe, comment down below. Like, however, if some SCPs have a base limitation, like SCP-682's adaptation is like high reversal, and SCP-3012's, Transcendence can only reach infinite narratives, and Sephiroth and Qlipoth stands infinitely, above infinite and beyond infinite narratives. And I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube saying that Sephiroth and Qlipoth are omnipotent, even though he is basically the most powerful non-omnipotent being in existence. So that's how it works now. So that's just my opinion about the SCP universe. You're free to have your own opinion also. Unfortunately, I'm in restricted mode, so I can't view your comments, fortunately, or most videos for that matter, unless you basically add some sort of set limitation or a true form that basically sets the limitation, like Yelp Studios did with his SCP called SCP-7709. Now, the reason why I don't do my own omnipotent OC like the Lord against SCP-7709 is because Yelp Studio himself said that SCP-7709 true form, the narrator, is basically the narrator of like the SCP universe, something like that. In one video called SCP-7709 Serenthemum, and he says that SCP-7709's true form can in fact be Serenthemum, since his true form is like omnipotent. And the reason why I don't put my omnipotent OC against SCP-7709, like the Lord for instance, is that since the narrator and the author kind of have a similar domain of power, like supreme being level within any fictional universe, like that is basically like a ridiculous matchup. It's the equivalent of an omnipotent being fighting himself. So yeah, that's how ridiculous it is. Which is why I don't put any SCP-7709 in my battles. Which is why I don't do some battles, since I think it will trigger a lot of people. Sort of. So, yeah. That's my opinion about the SCP universe. Although he does says that SCP-7079 is I do believe SCP-7079 is omnipotent, since his true form is the narrator, and the narrator has a similar domain in the power of like the author, and the author is a supreme being within their own respective fictional universe. So yeah, that's how it works. So that's just my opinion about the SCP universe. And also, I do pay respect to Yelp Studios himself. He does make great OCs and great battles. And also, subscribe to his channel, by the way. So anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. And peace out.